Hey, how are you?
Good. You?
Normal. Uh, cool. Um, okay. Talk later? Sound familiar? Yeah. How are you? Good. How are you? Okay. How are you? My favorite. Normal. And then the conversation just dies. No energy, no connection, and certainly no momentum. Now, here's the thing. I'm a big believer in small talk, especially in business. It's not about being fake, it's about being human. When someone asks, "How are you?" that's an open door. You can either walk through it or let it slam shut. And if you want better conversations, better networking, better business relationships, you need to learn how to do something that I call expand and build. Let me show you how. First, I'm Grant. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a business English confidence coach. And for years, I have coached CEOs of different companies all over the world and helped them become confident using English so they can grow their companies internationally. Now, I'm here to help do the same thing with you, and I'm sharing all the same things that I have shared with my clients with all of you to help business professionals become really confident using English. That's why I'm here. I'm really happy you've joined me. If you haven't, please subscribe to this channel. It'd be great to continue to grow our great community here. Okay, let's take a look at how maybe we can respond to this crazy thing of, "Hey, how are you?" So let me give you some different, maybe simple, but better responses to this question. Let's try it again. "Hey, how are you?"
Pretty good. Been catching up on a few things this morning.
"Nice. Trying to clear out that inbox?" Do you see what just happened? He gave me something I could respond to. Now, let me give you a couple other different small, simple ways to say something better than just, "How are you?" "Good." Instead, you might say, "Doing well, thanks. Just getting into the swing of things." Now, that's a nice common phrase that a typical normal American would say, "getting into the swing of things," which just means I'm getting used to this new work week or new changes or whatever it might be. Or you could say, "Can't complain. Got my coffee, so I'm happy." Or, "Feeling okay. A quiet morning so far." All of those are so much better than just saying, "How are you?" Normal. Let's try another one. So I might say, "How are you doing today?"
Doing well. Finally got a full night of sleep.
Nice. That's rare these days, right? That's all it takes. A small, tiny detail. Now we're talking like humans, not robots. Let's go a little deeper. Now you're going to include a detail that maybe reveals something real, but still professional. Let's take a look. "Hey, how's your day going?"
Honestly, a little tired. My dog woke me up at 4 a.m.
Oh, rough start. You've got a dog?
Yeah, a husky. Big energy.
No wonder you didn't sleep. Boom. That's small talk that leads somewhere. We could talk about dogs, energy levels, schedules, whatever. But we've opened the door. We've expanded. We've built. Again, you have a choice. You can close it or you can open the door and just try to have a normal conversation with somebody, build a relationship. Let me give you a few more examples. So somebody says, hey, how are you? You might say, pretty good. I wrapped up a project yesterday, so I'm feeling relaxed today. You have really opened the door. Or somebody says, hey, how are you today? You might say, good overall. Still thinking about a webinar I attended last night. Whew, you could ask lots of questions about that. Or if somebody says, hey, how are you today? You might say, doing fine. Just a bit distracted with a family thing this morning. Again, you're professional, but you're also real. And that's what really matters, so that you can build real connections with people. That's the key here. That's what we're trying to do. And that's how connection begins. Okay, let's go from being fine to fascinating. This is where your answer leads to a real conversation. You're sharing something about you're learning, doing, or working through something. It shows energy and it invites curiosity. So here we go again. How are you doing today?
Good. I've been experimenting with time blocking this week. It's totally changed my mornings.
Oh, really? I've heard about that. How's it going for you?
Still figuring it out, but it helps me stop multitasking so much.
That's awesome. Might need to try it myself. That's real conversation. And it all started with, how are you? And instead of responding, normal, we expanded. I built. And I gave the person an opportunity to start asking questions, to go a little bit deeper, to build a connection, to build a relationship. That's what you can do. Here's some other options of different ways that you could respond. Somebody says, hey, how are you? You might say, feeling pretty focused. I'm testing a new workflow today. Lots of places to go with that. Or somebody says, how are you? You might say, a little nervous. I've got a client presentation later. Again, you're real. You really opened up a opportunity. People are like, yeah, I hate presentations. I know how you feel. Or somebody says, how are you? You might say, oh, I'm excited. I've been working on a new skill outside of work. Guess what the other person's going to ask? Oh, really? What skill? That's how small talk begins, by expanding and building. You've given the other person something to work with. You've made it easy for them. And most of the time, they'll take that and they'll run with it. And they'll make the conversation simple, and you'll build a relationship. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to practice. I'll ask, how are you? And give you 3 seconds. Then I'll show you a great way to respond. Ready? How are you? Now, a response might be, doing well. Had a great walk this morning before work. That would be a nice way to respond. But there's a million ways to respond. So let's try another one. How's it going? Now here's a different response you might give. Good, I've been prepping for a big call later, so I'm in focus mode. Prepping is a nice way to talk about I'm preparing for something. I'm a little preparation going on. Preparation is long, prepping short. Okay, so I'm prepping for something. Here's another one to practice with. If I say, how have you been? What would you say? Well, you might say, pretty good. Trying to get better at organizing my schedule this week. That would be true for me. Now, I'd like you to go back and practice these again. I gave you 3 different ways of, hey, how you doing? Or how are you? Or how you been? And the object here is to get you to be able to respond naturally in the way you want to. I've given you lots of ways to do that in this video. But you have to take the time and practice and be able to use your own response naturally. Don't just give normal, good, okay. Open the door. Expand on your answer. Build on your answer. Make it super easy for the other person. Okay? That's what I want you to practice. I guess in general, you need to think about that. You don't have to say anything amazing. You don't need perfect grammar or some kind of long answer. You don't need to be an actor. This is not fake, it's real. Just give a little more, share a detail, just start a connection with somebody. That's how small talk becomes real. All right, give it a try, see what happens. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share your comments, and I also invite you to learn your Business English Confidence Score. You'll find the link in the description below this video.